Right then, this is a quick walk around video, and this is for a Honda CR-V. It's a 2-litre ES automatic. Car's covered 117,000 miles. It's in really lovely condition because we rarely have these on this age. This has come in as a part exchange to us against a newer CR-V that the customers bought, and they've kept this one really well. Any marks I'll show you. There'll be a few, very light indeed, but one of the nice ones you can see certainly. Come around the front of the car first. Generally all very clean indeed. Bonnet, exceptionally clean really. I mean, there will be the odd minor stone chip, but you know, it's very hard to find one. The rear side of the car, lovely and smooth in the panels, very clean down there. The tiniest little indentation on the leading edge of the front wing there. And this side front alloy, in really good condition for the age of the car, remarkably so. Main panels down the side, again, all very clean. This side rear alloy, again, in fantastic condition. Come around the back of the car, very nice indeed. So coming to really the only blemish, which could easily get rectified by kind of chips away, I'm guessing sort of 80, 100 pounds if you really wanted to. You just see on there, it's caught the rear bumper. It's plastic on that section, so there's no rust issues. You can touch it in. If you've got your mods to make it look absolutely like new, then as I said, feel free to attend to it, but that's as it comes basically. Offside rear alloy, again, very good for the age. Work, very nice indeed. Again, really good. Externally, it is, apart from one minor imperfection there, it's in lovely condition, really is. Comes to the boot area of the car. Minor miracle to see on this age. It's got all its equipment still. So you've got the tonneau cover, you've got the middle shelf, which I've never found useful personally, but many have. They do hinge up, and you can take them out. And by the way, if you turn them upside down, this slot in that recessed section all the way to the bottom there, put it upside down so it protects the fabrics, but again, the age, very good condition back here. Coming to the back of the car, again, CR-Vs normally very heavily used. This one's heavy use, of course it has, but it's done it very well indeed. Come to the front of the passenger side now. There's a full set of mats in the car as well. Passenger seat there, again in very nice condition. Finally coming on the driver's door, and generally all very good for the age. And what I mean by that, of course, is just, you know, it's bound to show the odd minor imperfection. I'm judging it on a car that's 16 years old. Inside the car now, engine's running as I always have, so dashboard can be seen illuminated, which again is in really good condition. Still a lovely place to sit and drive a car. Great driving position here. And come across the main dash binnacle, hopefully you can see 117,006 miles, and there are no warning lights on the dashboard at all whilst the engine's running. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual, pack and lock and wheel nut key, all here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda CR-V 2-litre ES automatic. The car's registered HG57FCE, and the mileage is a lovely round 117,000 miles exactly. It's just turned over, which is really satisfying, but there we are. The reason for all our videos, and as I always say, especially this road test section, is to ensure that if any of our cars, so the customers get to see any of our cars advertised actually in operation. The reason we feel it's important is because, unfortunately, like lots of people, we've been to see cars which have looked absolutely fine and dandy in the photographs or description, but only to get there and find out it's got an obvious fault that shows up when driving the car. And it is especially important, I guess, when you're looking at older cars with a higher mileage, where that's more likely to be the case. So we just don't want to waste anyone's time in that sense. Road tests are also done on these very quiet country roads in this beautiful part of Gloucestershire, and this actually forms part of the road test route we take our customers on, and we hope it'll be representative of what you feel yourself if offered a test drive in the car, quite clearly. So coming to the car, this car's come as a part exchange to us actually. Basically they've had it a long time and have bought a much newer Honda CR-V 2-litre petrol automatic, so they clearly like the car and the model and the brand, and it's easy to see why, because ordinarily a car this age we would send straight to trade, because we'd expect to have some defects by this sort of stage, but it drives so well, just I can't bring myself to do it, it's too nice. Engine starts instantly and settles to smooth, even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car. Temperature gauge running at a third, which is exactly where it's meant to be on a Honda vehicle, by the way, as well. The engine is your classic Honda 4-cylinder petrol engine, and then what I mean by that is it is utterly brilliant. They are incredibly tough and long-lasting. Timing chain, no timing belts to worry about, but they're just such a lovely engine to use day in, day out. With 117,000 miles on the clock, you would expect the engine to sound a little bit different to when it was new, possibly a few little noises, but no, put your foot down, absolutely as sweet as a nut. And as an engineering company, there isn't another manufacturer that makes 4-cylinder engines like Honda. They are astonishing units, and it sounds and runs like new in terms of the engine, certainly. Gearbox likewise, again, a reputation for being very, very tough indeed. The gear changes are lovely and smooth in operation. When you select drive and reverse when you're stationary, there's no clonks, thunks, and so all operating exactly as it should. And it's a really nice gearbox to use day in, day out as well, because it's, the gear changes, you could, it's going to change now, but they're very smooth, very, very smooth on the move. And obviously ratios have been chosen carefully to try and obviously maximise economy and performance. So come to the steering and chassis. Steering, always been good on the CR-Vs. It's nicely weighted. It feels very confident and secure on the road. It also tracks absolutely dead straight. There's no vibrations at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit. And the whole car driving on the road now, it defies logic really in some ways. We're talking about 16, 17 years old, and it could have just rolled off the production line. That's how tight it feels on the road in terms of the steering, the chassis, everything about it in that sense, just so solid. And it drives so nicely. The steering, as I said, it's precise and accurate. The chassis is very comfortable indeed, deals with it minor imperfections much better than most modern cars, and very comfortable. And when you go through the corners, it is very car-like. You don't get that kind of truck-like experience you get from most SUVs of this vintage, where they kind of lurch and loll up their way through corners. This just feels really tight and taut on the road. Really nicely done. And as I said, absolutely there's no clonks, there's no rattles, nothing from underneath at all. I think at the last MOT they mentioned something about some bushes on suspension, but they were attended to, so probably explains why it feels as tight as it does. Brake pedal, incidentally, just going to give the brakes a good thump. Really nice brake pedal on the car. It's just flown through an independent MOT without any advisories, so all in very, very fine fettle indeed. So I'm just going to swing round here. So we'll just accelerate from our cars behind. Pick up speed really nicely. Finally coming inside, again, one thing which videos can never get across is build quality. I mean, again, 16 years old, 117,000 miles on the clock. You'd expect a few creaks and rattles and groans from the interior, and there's nothing. It's absolutely beautifully put together. It's not been cleaned yet for the video. It's going to be given a clean, although it is very clean. It's obviously some wear and tear you'd expect with the mileage, but in essence, it's certainly one of the better ones you're going to find on this vintage. But a lovely place to sit. Brilliant visibility all round, a dashboard which is simplicity itself to operate, nice simple radio, dual zone climate control system, which pumps out absolutely ice cold air. They had a new air conditioning compressor fitted a year or two ago, so that's working really well, and commonly isn't, so that's a really nice thing to find. Dash binnacle in front, classic Honda, simple dials, legible, easy to read, and a nice leather bound steering wheel to top it all off. This is a four-wheel drive version of the CR-V, albeit you don't press any buttons, it does it all automatically. So basically, pretty much the whole time it's going to run in two-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, as it is right now, where you don't need four-wheel drive currently as I'm driving these conditions. Only if it needs to go into four-wheel drive will it automatically do it itself, and it's seamless. You don't even realise it's happened. If you were to pull away on sort of snow, mud or ice, the front wheels would momentarily lose grip, but before you could ever react, via the traction control system of the car, it brings in the rear wheels to give you four-wheel drive and disengages it as quickly as it possibly can. We have owned far too many CR-Vs to mention, and it's brilliant in use. The advantages of the system are fairly obvious. You're going to get through your tyres far less quickly than ordinarily be the case with permanent four-wheel drive. You're going to use less fuel, and it puts far less mechanical stress through the vehicles. So much so that, as I said, in decades selling CR-Vs and thousands of them using this system, I can't remember putting a spanner on any of them in terms of the four-wheel drive system, so they are incredibly robust. As I said at the start of the video, it's only short, just to show you the car operating. I can't fault it in any way, shape or form. It drives absolutely beautifully.